Hello everyone, welcome back to the workshop. Today, like the thumbnail implied, I'm going to be going over the differences about a press versus a power hammer. So, more specifically, I'm going to be showing one process under a power hammer and the same process under the press. Reason for this being is a power hammer or press are very different pieces of tooling. They are not just squishy things or big smashy things. They are tools and should be used as such and be used for what they are good at. A lot of guys get this wrong right off the gate. They think that there's a one-all do-all type tool. There is not. A power hammer or a press is only as good as your abilities and the amount of tooling that you are capable of building and putting underneath them. So in today's video, I'm going to be showing forging down or upsetting some 1-inch round by 2-inch long bar stock mild steel, or more specifically 1018. They're both going to be heated in the same gas forge and brought as close as I can to the same temperature. So I've got one loaded up now. We'll be loading the other one up. And in the next clip, you'll see me start forging with the power hammer. I've got my power hammer turned on. This power hammer is a 37-pound ram. It's a mechanical helve hammer, designed and built myself. And as you can see by the jar in the video, it's got quite a bit of thump to it. One of the things you'll also notice by me working out this billet here is that the top of the material likes to move a lot quicker than the bottom of the material. Part of this is due to the fact that the top ram has more kinetic energy coming from it, much the same as like a hand hammer would have, and less kinetic energy rebounding from the bottom. Some of that could also be due to the fact that the anvil on the bottom could use to be about 3 times bigger. But hey, you work with what you got. So as you can see, it does work down the piece pretty well. It makes fairly short work of it. Now, on my particular hammer, the dies have started to develop kind of a sweet spot in the center of them. This is something I'll have to work on at a later date, but they have taken a lot of steel underneath them, and so I just work with it the way it is. That's the reason why you see me moving it around on the top die so much. So now on to the press. Same size billet of steel, and then this press is my 35-ton press, also designed and built by myself. As you can see in the upsetting operation, it did an amazing job. And it works pretty good while the material is still really good and hot. As you can see, it's kind of slippery to hold on to, this little bit of a nugget here, so it's not ideal. But as you can see, it takes and works down stuff pretty quick. So at first glance, you may be saying to yourself, man, that press just totally kicked that power hammer's butt. And you would be right on this particular operation. There'll be some future videos that I'll be putting out on this, and I'm thinking about creating a playlist of this, just kind of as an informative to help guys out make that decision when you're wanting to move to your first piece of power tooling, whether you should go for a press or a power hammer. And in those videos, I'm going to be going over a couple of the disadvantages of presses, as well as some of the advantages of power hammers. So now in this video, I'm doing a little side-by-side. The small window is the press, and obviously the large screen is the power hammer. So you can kind of get a comparison point of how well these are working together. And what's the difference? One of the differences that I would like to take and point out is that presses really enjoy squishing material. Now you say, well, Roy, that's a bit redundant, and obviously, Captain Obvious, they like squishing material. But what I mean by that is the fact that presses really enjoy large chunks of material to squish and maneuver around. However, they really dislike thin pieces of material or material that cannot hold its heat value very long. You'll lose a lot to the dies, and this is why in some videos when you see people working under a press, it looks like the press dies themselves are taking and sucking all the heat out of the steel. And there's really no way of avoiding this. Presses were really designed to take and put a lot of squeeze on material pretty quickly. So as you can see, I'm still working the piece under the power hammer, so the press has definitely got the win on upsetting material as far as speed, at least in this particular application. Now the next clip, the small window now is the power hammer, and you can get a better view of the press running to see the difference. So in the next video in this series, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a comparison point of the two drawing out a section of rod. Most likely it'll be a 1-inch cross section, and we are going to take and do real-time drawing out on both. Hopefully I can figure out the split screen by then, so this way I can do a side-by-side versus a small window comparison, and you guys will find that valuable. If you made it this far in the video, you should stick around till the end. I will be showing the differences between the two, the final results, if you will. One thing I'll point out is my press dies, they have some damage in the press die itself, and when you press that onto the steel, it actually imprints that on the steel. So you'll see that in the final photo of the press die that is on the right, and the power hammer one that was on the left. And here's the result. Like I said, the press is on the right and the power hammer is on the left. Obviously, there's a lot of good shaping that could be done to these, but hey, this was just a test. Anyways, that's it for today, guys and gals. I hope you liked this video. Let me know what you thought in the comment section down below and who won. Thanks for watching.